when you see this snake in person, it is absolutely mind-blowing. He's a tiger super dwarf reticulated python, and he is absolutely incredible. He's over 12 foot, so how much do you think he weighs? Garrett Hartle with Reach Out Reptiles. You are absolutely... What's up everybody, Justin Hawkins here with Triple H Exotics, where reptiles are not our hobby, they are our lifestyle. And I'm here with Billy, and we have some big news to share with you, and we have something really awesome to show you. So let's get right into it.
Warning. Never attempt to recreate or reenact anything you see us do here at Triple H Exotics. Everything you see here was performed either by professionals or under the supervision of professionals. Thank you for your support.
Alright guys, check it out. So like I said, I am here with Billy, and he's a tiger super dwarf reticulated python, and he is absolutely incredible. So he was actually my first super dwarf reticulated python I ever got, like I said, and this is a picture of him right here when he was a little baby, when he first came to me in Missouri, when I was living in Missouri. He got shipped to me. Now, he is almost 3 years old, which is incredible. That's amazing, and that's amazing for two different reasons. One, which we'll get to in a little bit, and two, the other reason it's amazing is because time flies. I cannot believe it's been 3 years already from this to this. Time really flies by. So, first of all, I want to apologize and say thank you guys once again for being so patient with me. I appreciate everything. The last week and a half, I didn't get to film the videos that I wanted to because something big happened, and it's exciting, and I'm about to share it with you. And also because I was sick there for a while, which stinks because I was sick the few days that I was going to shoot a video that I was looking really forward to shooting, which I think we're going to do that tomorrow or the next day hopefully anyway. So I am still really looking forward to that video because it's going to be kind of interactive. I think like almost all of you should be guessing some things in the comments of that video. I like it when you comment on all the videos, so please make sure you like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way as soon as that video drops, you guys can see it right away. And of course, comment, because I love it when you guys comment in the videos. That all being said, be on the lookout for those videos very soon. But Billy here has already been a great ambassador animal, educational animal. As you can see here, I'll throw just a couple pictures up. But in the 3 years, almost 3 years that I've had him, he has actually helped a lot of people get over their fears, and he has educated a ton of people already. And that's what we're setting out to do here at Triple H Exotics. You know, we're set out to educate people and show them how incredible these animals really truly are. A lot of people are scared of them or dislike snakes just because they think they should, and they don't know why. But a lot of reasons that, like, oh, they're slimy and this and that, and a lot of the reasons that they say they don't like them, they're not even true. They're just things that people made up, and they have a bad rap, which we're going to do a video on that one time, all the misinformation about snakes. So he has definitely done his job, and he has a bright, long future here to go at Triple H Exotic because he's going to be a fantastic ambassador animal for a long time. He's also about to start breeding, so he's going to make some babies, and we'll get into that in more detail. Alright guys, let's just cut right to the chase, alright? I'm not going to go on my little rants here, but I just got to say something real quick about somebody and a company. But like I said, I'm not going to go on my rant now. But, however, I do have to say, Garrett Hartle with Reach Out Reptiles, you are absolutely amazing, man. Thank you so much, Garrett Hartle. I appreciate it, man. So everybody, if you haven't figured it out by now, I am now a part of Reach Out Reptile family/team, which is absolutely amazing. Garrett, I cannot thank you enough, man. I cannot wait to see where this goes. I am so excited for the future for myself and Reach Out Reptiles and Triple H Exotics. So look here, everybody, Triple H Exotics, Reach Out Reptiles for life. So, Garrett, man, I admire what you have done. From where you have started, what you have done, it's absolutely incredible. And, you know, I'm not going to be envious of you and talk crap on you about it. Instead of doing something like that, you know, I respect you. I introduced myself, showed you who I am, what I do, and now I became a part of what you're doing because what you're doing is absolutely incredible. So, for everybody that doesn't know Garrett and what he does, you need to go check out Reach Out Reptiles on YouTube. Go subscribe to Reach Out Reptiles right now because they are incredible. So what they do is they specialize in dwarf and super dwarf reticulated pythons, which are absolutely incredible animals. Absolutely amazing. One of the coolest animals on the face of the planet by far. So mainland reticulated pythons are an amazing animal. Like, everybody wants one because they're so cool. And they're amazing. But they're not the greatest pets for most people because they get huge. They get over 20, they can get over 20 foot long. They can get massive. They can literally eat you if they choose to. So, this right here is the alternative, the solution, the cure, the everything. Super dwarf reticulated pythons. Isn't that flippin' amazing? Like I said, he is almost 3 years old. And look at him. And he eats well, trust me. He eats very, very well. And you never skip a meal, do you, buddy? But anyways, yeah. So this is literally the best thing since sliced bread. Even, heck, this is better than sliced bread. I don't care. I'll cut my own bread if I can have dwarf and super dwarf retics all through my house. I mean, come on. Absolutely incredible. So, Garrett has built a kingdom with super dwarf reticulated pythons and dwarf reticulated pythons. All kinds of different morphs. And for those of you who don't know, morphs, like Billy's a tiger, so this is why his coloring looks like this and his pattern looks like that. That's his morph. That's a dominant gene that you can see in him. So they come super dwarf and dwarf reticulated pythons. Garrett has produced so many, and he has actually made so many morphs from the mainland reticulated pythons to the dwarf and super dwarf reticulated pythons. So now you have tons of options to choose from when it comes to localities, sizes, morphs, colors, everything like that when it comes to getting a dwarf and super dwarf reticulated python, which is so fun. It's like Pokemon, you gotta collect them all, gotta catch them all. But yeah, so these guys are absolutely amazing, and Reach Out Reptiles, they're the best. Reach Out Reptiles is the biggest and best. They're the biggest and the best dwarf and super dwarf reticulated python breeders in America. Hands down, by a landslide, Reach Out Reptiles is who you want to go to, 100%. And I'm not just saying that because I'm biased. I'm saying that because I was in Missouri looking at YouTube videos years back, and I was looking at YouTube videos for mainland reticulated pythons because I was like, man, I want to get some more I think I had a baby at that time, and I was like, I want to get more mainland reticulated pythons. And now I do. I have, a half a dozen mainland reticulated pythons also, but at that time I was like, you know what? I want to get a bunch of mainland reticulated pythons. So I'm looking on YouTube at all these videos, and I come across Reach Out Reptiles. And I'm like, wait, what is this? A super dwarf reticulated python? So I started looking into it. I watched a ton of their videos. I was like, man, this dude Gary, pretty cool. But what was really cool is what he was doing. I was like, this is absolutely incredible what he's doing. Like all these awesome dwarf and super dwarf reticulated pythons. So you have all these people all over the world that like want a mainland reticulated python, but they can't have them because they're massive. But now you guys can all have one, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 20, however many you want, because they are the perfect animal, and now they're the perfect size. They are absolutely incredible, just taking over the world. So they are so cool, and that is the best part about it, is that anybody can have them. Don't ever go out and impulse purchase one because there's a lot that you need to know. But that being said, they are absolutely incredible. So anyways, I looked at all their videos. I found out how you should set their enclosure up. I actually replicated one of their enclosures. This was mine, boom, right there. So I made that, I replicated that, I called Reach Out Reptiles, and this is why I talk so good about them. This is why they're the best. This is why I wanted to work for them. When we moved back to Pennsylvania, I told my beautiful wife Cheyenne, I said, one day I'm going to work for Reach Out Reptiles, and that's what I'm gonna do with my life. I'm gonna do my thing with reptiles, and then I'm gonna do my work with reptiles. So that's what I'm gonna do. And a year and a half, 2 years later, here I am. But this is why. I watched all their videos, I learned a lot of valuable information. I set up the enclosure just like they had in one of their videos for a baby super dwarf reticulated python, replicated that, then I contacted them. That day, G.I. Joe, my boy G.I. Joe, he reached out to me. He helped me find the perfect super dwarf reticulated python for me, Billy, which has been amazing. And then he kept me in the loop throughout the whole entire process, sending me updates, pictures, a video of them, everything. And what I mean by the process is, if they hatch out some babies, you don't just call and say, hey, I want this, blah, 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 it's 10 degrees, I'll go and ship it tomorrow. A lot of people do that kind of stuff. But with Reach Out Reptiles, number one, the shipping, they go through Ship Your Reptiles, which is awesome. And the guidelines that we ship are par none. Like, it's gotta be, the animal's safety is number one with them when it comes to shipping 100% of the time, which is always the way it should be, but unfortunately nowadays it's not always like that. A lot of times it's not like that, but it should always be. So Reach Out Reptiles is dedicated to the safety of the animal when it comes to shipping. And when I say throughout the whole process, that process was Billy was a pretty fresh baby because they hatch out a ton of babies every year. Now, their policy is each baby has to eat a minimum of 6 meals before they will ship them out to you, because they want to make sure that that snake is 100% healthy, doing fantastic when it leaves their possession and enters your possession to their next forever home. So they are absolutely incredible. Then, when he ships it out, he called me and said, all right, is it cool to ship out? You want it this day or this day? And we figured that out. And when it got there, it came in this awesome box with Reach Out Reptile sticker on it. And then it came with this swag right here. All right, check that out. And what all this is this is what Billy came in right here. This awesome little metal tin with the Reach Out Reptile sticker. How cool is that? This is what I got my first super dwarf reticulated python, and it was so cool. This just lifts open and then you can get the snake out. It's so awesome. It's got a little window in there to where you can see them. So cool. What else was in the box was some swag, you know, keychain, stuff like that. And then another Reach Out Reptile card. So the did you know, this is really cool. So each clutch number is right here. So if I go to Instagram and I type in hashtag Billy's clutch number, everybody that has his brothers and sisters all over the world, I can see pictures of everybody and say, oh hey, I have the brother to her, I have the brother to him. You know, and you can always interact with other people who have the siblings to your snakes, which is so flippin' cool. And then, my favorite thing right here, these. These are birth certificates for snakes, hatch certificates. So these right here tell you everything about the snake. So this shows you his clutch number and his actual ID number. That was his ID number there at the facility. And then on the hatch certificate you have his genetics are he's a super dwarf tagger. He is a male. He was born, he pipped out of the egg May 15th of 2022. His het is 100% het albino, meaning that he carries albino, but you can't see it on him. You can just see the tagger. But he can actually produce babies in the future, which he will, that you can see albino or that carry that albino trait. And then he's 50% Kalatoa. Now Kalatoa is the locality. So there's multiple localities of dwarf and super dwarf reticulated pythons. And the dwarf and super dwarf reticulated pythons, they're not small because we don't feed them. They're not small for whatever reason. They're small because they grew up on these different islands and they're in caves. And like Garrett taught me this, these animals are in caves and they're climbing all over the place, burning all these calories, and they're most likely eating these bats in the caves and stuff. So they're on these smaller islands and they do have prey items there. You know, a lot of them feed on bats and stuff like that. But they are climbing the whole way up to the cage, swinging and trying to get it bad. Probably fall sometimes, go back up there. They're very active. So on these islands, they're a lot smaller. So you have all these different localities like this right here, and they're all different sizes. So there's different size range in these localities. But Billy is Kalatoa. So there's different localities, there's different morphs, there's different colors with the morphs, everything like that. It's absolutely crazy. And then another cool thing on this is Garrett actually signs every one of these. He signs it and then with a little note says, Justin, take good care of this little fella for me. So with Garrett, these snakes are literally like his kids and his grandkids. You know, he has dedicated his life to these animals and it's paying off for him. And I'm happy to see that because it pays off for him, means it pays off for the whole reptile industry because of the way he does things, which is amazing. So Garrett, thank you so much. And the best part about all this is that I get to be a big part of this, which is absolutely amazing and humbling. So I am so stoked for my future. I've been there, like I said, for about 2 weeks now, and I am already absolutely loving it. I'm learning a lot about the morphs and the localities and stuff like that. And as I learn, I'll actually do some videos about it. But you guys need to go check out Reach Out Reptiles on YouTube and check out all their videos and learn all this cool stuff, because there's a lot of awesome stuff out there to be learned. So like I said earlier, guys, reticulated pythons are literally the perfect pet snake in my opinion for most people, because, or they would be, because they're super smart. They have the best personality ever when it comes to snakes. They're athletic as all get out. Like they literally can climb straight up a rope or a tree. Like check these out. Like, this is absolutely crazy. So they're so cool, they're so interactive, they have the best personalities ever, like I said, and as you can see, this athleticism, when you get them out to mess with them, it's so fun because they're always doing something very, very cool. And they're also very hardy. If your retic gets sick or something happens to your retic, you're definitely just doing a horrible job of trying to not take care of your animal, because they are very, very hardy when it comes to snakes. Now, reticulated pythons, after I said all of that, it's like, well, yeah, they're the best pet snake, everybody should have them, right? But like I said, mainlands, it sucks because they get huge. But now you have dwarf and super dwarf, so that solves that problem. So these guys, that is why these are the ideal pet snake for everybody. Alright guys, so the other part of this video's purpose is I actually have to thank Garrett once again, because, alright, so thank you Garrett for this big boy right here. That's right guys, Garrett actually hooked me up with this awesome tiger mainland reticulated python. Now this is a male. We don't know much about him, we don't know how old he is, and we don't know if he's het. He might be het for something. So he's definitely tiger though. So this is a big male mainland reticulated python, and there's a huge difference between him and Billy. So this guy is actually over 12 foot long. Now, what I want you guys to do, I just weighed him the other day. So what I want you guys to do is go ahead and tell me in the comments, how much do you think this guy weighs? He's over 12 foot, so how much do you think he weighs? Go ahead and put it in the comments right now. So, as you can see here, this right here even would not be the perfect pet for everybody. 12 foot long. If this guy wanted to latch onto me and take me down, there's nothing I'm gonna do about it, honestly. Because even at this size, these guys are extremely strong. You saw them climbing up trees like it was nothing.
Lightweight, baby! Woo! Yeah! Lightweight! Yeah, buddy!
Imagine how strong this guy is. But yeah, 12 foot long, male, mainland reticulated python. Tell me your guess on how much this big boy weighs down in the comments. And this is kind of an Easter egg or a hint to something else too. But anyways, so yeah, as you can see, these guys are absolutely incredible. This guy right here, I have a few mainland reticulated pythons, but I actually have one female that will be ready next year to breed. So she's actually a phantom, and this is her. So that's what phantom looks like, and tiger looks like this. So let's say that neither one of them are het for anything. This is how it would work. So neither one of them are het for anything. He's a tiger, she's a phantom. Let's say that I bred them and she gave me 8 good eggs. So statistically, I would get, if there was 8 eggs, I would get 2 tigers, 2 phantoms, 2 wild types, which we haven't talked about really, and 2 phantom tigers. So that's the way that these work. And then you throw het in there and it becomes a whole nother ballgame. So, but like I said, we're gonna do other videos in that. We're gonna do a lot of other videos, obviously. We're gonna do videos about different morphs and stuff like that. And we're also going to do a really cool one about video care guides. Speaking of this guy and care, his first night here, I put him in a little enclosure for the night. Well, it was a 6-footer actually, which is little for him, especially retics, because like I say, they're active. So, I put him in a 6-footer, and I took the lock off of it, and I went out to clean some stuff for the snake room, and when I came back to this. So, he got out, destroyed the snake room, and then got way up high. And like I was telling you guys, they love to be way up high. So, this weekend he will have an 8-foot by 3-foot by 3-foot enclosure. And I'm going to see if I can maybe put some shelves in there and some cool stuff for him to climb around on in his size, which is, at this size, it's a little harder to do that with. When it comes to super dwarfs and dwarfs, you can get a little 4x2x2 and put different shelves and branches and all kinds of stuff for them to climb on, and they will use all of that. They'll climb on everything. It'll be absolutely amazing for you to watch them, and they will get a lot of enrichment and be very healthy and very happy with you. So, I'm going to go ahead and put him back, and then I'm going to show you guys what a wild type looks like. Check out how cool he really is. Absolutely incredible. Alright guys, so this right here is a baby wild type. So this is what the wild ones look like. And you would think the wild types are normally the cheapest ones because that's just their standard color. That's what they look like in the wild. That's what they come in, you know, naturally. However, they are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you can't tell on camera really, but check her out. Absolutely stunning. Now the problem with this is she did not come from Garrett, and she's not a mainland. She's close because she's 25% jam. So she's 25% dwarf, which is not much. To be considered super dwarfs, you have to be at least 50% super dwarf. So she is just dwarf, because anything under 50% cannot be super dwarf. It's just dwarf if it has any dwarfism in it at all. But she is a wild type. Now the thing with this is why you got to be very, very careful with who you're buying dwarf and super dwarf retics from. Because when they're babies, a mainland, a dwarf, a super dwarf, you're gonna be, you look at it and you gotta trust the breeder. You know, the person that I got this girl off of that said she's 25% jam, I didn't pay jam price for her because I didn't trust that person. A matter of fact, after I had gotten her, they kind of said some things about Reach Out, which was, you know, not cool. And come to find out, it's because they are lying. Because I talked to some people, they're like, no, yep, they sold, you know, a 75% somebody, 50% somebody, and half the times they were mainlands or like 25%. Like that, it's horrible because that's what people are doing. They get these animals. And of course, everybody wants dwarf and super dwarf because they're amazing. They're the perfect pet snake. So a lot of breeders are, no, I shouldn't say a lot, but you know, I'm definitely not going to call anybody out or say any names. But there are a fair share of people out there that when you go to buy these, they'll, you know, exaggerate on how big they'll get, or they'll exaggerate on the percentage is the big thing. They'll tell you it's a dwarf when it's not, or it's a super dwarf when really it's a dwarf, or you know, it's 78% when it's only 25. So that is horrible. And what they'll do is they'll tell you it's this much super dwarf, and I'll sell it to you for, you know, half of what a real super dwarf would be. So right then you would think, okay, why are the good ones selling for this much and I can get these for this much? Like, stop and think about who you're buying from and getting stuff from before you actually go through with it, because that is a big problem. You have to trust who you're getting these from for more reasons than one. And Reach Out Reptiles, you can trust. I know that they have proven themselves to me and many, many other people. And honestly, at the end of the day, go watch Reach Out stuff. Garrett doesn't really talk crap on anybody. Garrett never does. He does not like, there she goes right there, starting to climb up my arm. You know, and all these people that are out there talking a bunch of crap on other people, that is what's wrong with the reptile community in general. It's terrible because they all want to be here. It's kind of like I said earlier, you know, I'm not going to be mad at Garrett because he built himself an empire and he's helping the whole entire reptile community out by doing it the right way. No, I'm going to educate myself with his help. I'm going to, you know, try to become part of what he's doing because it's an amazing thing for the reptile industry. But yeah, so this is what the wild types look like. And then there's people out there that say, oh, well, the dwarfs and super dwarfs, they don't stay that small. You know, they're going to get the same size as the mainland no matter what percentage it is, or close to it. Hold on a second. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you this snake for a couple reasons. One, because it's my favorite morphism ever, or a morph combo I should say. And two, because people say retics, super dwarfs, there's a lot of people out there that say, well, this super dwarfs and dwarfs, they really don't get much smaller than the mainlands do, so, you know, as you feed them right, they're going to get not too much smaller, so what's the point in even buying them? It's 2025, and this stunning little boy was born or hatched out in 2019. Almost 6 years old, and look at him. Perfect size. This guy can comfortably live in a 4x2x2 forever, as long as you get him out and interact with them. And if you don't get them out and mess with them every once in a while, you have absolutely lost your mind, or you have no idea what you're missing, because they are such cool animals and it is such an amazing experience every single time. I do this every single day of my life now for my 9 to 5 and every second out of my 9 to 5. And every day it's more and more exciting. I mean, you keep learning, you keep doing new things, you keep seeing different snakes. Your snakes do something different every time you get them out. Like, it's It never gets old, and interacting with these super dwarf and dwarf retics are absolutely incredible. But check out that pattern, which there's really no pattern. So Motley does have a pattern. Motley normally looks like this, but for some reason when you put that golden child and Motley together, it makes this. The iconic black iridescent retic. Now, all retics are actually iridescent, meaning when the light hits them, you can see that rainbow, like Garrett says, like an oil slick almost, which is a great way to explain it. So, and the head stamps on the Motley Golden Childs are normally really cool too, which are the lines on the head. But anyways, yeah, so you put those two morphs together and it takes the Golden Child, takes away that pattern from the Motley, and it just makes it that solid black snake, which is absolutely amazing. This is my all-time favorite morph. Absolutely love it. And I'm telling you right now, you guys can see a little bit of shine, but that does not do it. When you see this snake in person, it is absolutely mind-blowing. Such a cool animal. But yeah, almost 6 years old, and look at the size of that. But like I was saying, a 4x2x2 enclosure, he can live in for the rest of your life. Just get him out and mess with them, which you're gonna wanna do 24/7 anyway, so that ain't no big thing. And also, branches, stumps, stuff for them to climb up on. You know, you have the floor of your enclosure, and most people are like, well, okay, that's all the retic's gonna use, put a hide here and a hide here and a water bowl here. No, the sky is the limit when it comes to these dwarf and super dwarf retics.
So what do the people do with these sheep?
Whatever they want. Here the sky is the limit.
Because they will utilize all that space, all that dead air, empty space that a lot of other snake species will waste in an enclosure. They will utilize it and they will thrive up there. They'll thrive in it. They love it. So that's why you can get away with a little bit smaller enclosure for these guys than you would think for as active as they are. But check him out. Absolutely gorgeous. But yeah guys, so just make sure that you're subscribed, comment below, and hit that notification bell for more videos, because the more I learn, the more I'm going to share with you guys. So we got Triple H Exotics just getting going, and Reach Out Reptiles, I'm so honored to be a part of it. So, guys, super dwarf and dwarf reticulated pythons, absolutely amazing, and arguably the best snake species in the planet to have as a pet snake. Now, going along with that, that is absolutely 100% accurate and true in my opinion. However, I also know in my mind, no one should ever go out and impulse one of these. Alright? That's a problem. You go out and you impulse buy one of these, you're not ready, that's a big issue. You gotta do your research, because there are things you need to know. You gotta have the right setup, you gotta know how to take care of them, you gotta know what their diet consists of, you gotta know when to feed them, how to feed them. It's a huge commitment, a very huge commitment, and there's just a lot of information that you still need to know. So, subscribe to Reach Out Reptiles, watch their videos. You know, if you want one of these, which if you're watching this video by now, I am sure you want one of these, at least one, but I'm gonna warn you though, I'm not gonna lie to you. If you reach out to me, or reach out to me at Reach Out, and we hook you up with the perfect snake, which we will, you're gonna want more. Whether you're breeding them, whether it's an ambassador animal, whether it's just a pet, which there's nothing wrong with that, it doesn't matter. You're gonna want more and more and more and more. Gotta catch them all, because there are so many to choose from. Size, locality, morph, color, it's amazing. So, but anyways, we will definitely get you the perfect one, but just beware, you are going to want more. It is, these are a drug. This right here, a drug. A drug, a drug, a drug, a drug, a drug, a drug. I am a huge active addict. I mean, look all around me. So just beware of that. You are going to want more. So if you do want one, reach out to us and we will get you the perfect snake, all right? And we will make sure that you know what you're doing, how to do it, you know, and we'll answer any of your questions. But like I said, go to Reach Out Reptiles YouTube, check out their videos. We even have these that you can buy right from reachoutreptiles.com, our dwarf and super dwarf reticulated python care guide booklets. These are actually really, really cool. There's a kind of a story behind these, which we'll get into that at a later date. You can probably find that at Reach Out too. So these are awesome. But there are tons of videos for free on Reach Out's website. So go subscribe to Reach Out and check them out. We We will also do a care guide video here on retics because I want to do every species that I have. I want to do a good care guide on all of them. And we're going to do a lot of other videos about retics and super dwarf retics in the future. So make sure you're subscribed, share the video, comment below. Please comment. That's how we learn. That's how we interact. That's when we need to stick together. I love seeing everybody comment in the comment section below. I see a lot of videos where it's got 10,000 views and 3 comments. I see some of my videos where it has 2,000 views and 40 comments, or 600 views and 25 comments, you know, because I love it when you guys comment. I love to interact with you guys no matter where I go. That's my goal, is to stay like that, always interacting with you guys. No matter where Triple H Exotic goes, Reach Out takes me, I always want to be able to respond to you guys personally and chat with you guys, because that's what this community is all about, guys. So be on the lookout for that next video. Don't impulse buy one of these, but you can definitely get them the right way and you will not be disappointed. Look at that. So freaking cool. Oh my gosh. I'm not even gonna lie, guys. I just kind of zoned out there because so amazing. Such beautiful animals. But yeah, guys, so I should be filming that next video. I'm so excited. The next couple days, and the next video should be dropping out. So like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that notification bell so you are alerted when it goes up. Alright guys, thank you as always. Be on the lookout for that next one. I'm just kidding, guys. The video isn't quite over yet, because how much did you guys think that he weighed down in the comments below? That just over 12-foot male mainland tiger retic. He weighed a whopping 28 pounds. A lot of people think he would weigh a lot more. I did, and I knew that snakes normally weigh a lot less than what you think. And I was still thinking he was going to be around 40 pounds. And I thought, you know, I was like, I'm going to go on the lower side, 40 pounds. But nope, he weighed 28.3 pounds. So, thank you guys. Be on the lookout for that next video now.